I'll give you guys some volume. Hey, y'all. Okay, so here is the deal. This is mostly for my ladies, but some guys may be into this too, so I want to clarify the massive confusion. Uh, so there's a difference between this deals with bed linen. I know y'all are probably going, what? Yeah, hear me out. There's a difference between a blanket, which is normally pretty flat, a comforter, which has a little bit of poof to it, right? Depending on the comforter, it'll be more poofy. And then there's a duvet cover, which has nothing to do with either one of those in the sense of it's an item by itself. And all over Amazon, I'm seeing people confuse a comforter for a duvet. They're not the same thing, and we're gonna break that down. Okay, it's just weird. If you replace the word duvet with a sleeve, like a sleeve of a shirt, you cannot confuse them anymore. Period. You just can't. Okay? So, a duvet is basically a sleeve or an envelope, if you will, for a comforter to go inside of to protect it, to keep it cleaner longer, because you could take the duvet off at any time and wash it if it's washable, which they should be, right? So people are calling, you'll go look on there and you'll see people looking at comforters and they'll say, I love this duvet, it's so fluffy. Duvets are not fluffy. You're confusing the comforter for a duvet. They're two completely different things. So if you think of it as a sleeve or an envelope, again, the comforter goes inside of it. Okay? And you can go under the size if you want your comforter to be more poofy. Like if it's a down comforter, you can go smaller size duvet sleeve for it to go inside of so that it stays poofier. For example, if you get a full-size comforter, you can get a queen size, or wait, let's see, you step down a size. Okay. So I would get a king size comforter because you want it to, if you have a queen size bed, you want it to cover the sides and the bottom. You don't want it to barely cover, and a lot of times they barely cover, so you need to go up a size. So if you go with a king size comforter, you would go with a queen size duvet sleeve. Okay, think of it as a sleeve or an envelope that the comforter goes inside of. Okay, it just makes a big question mark on my brain when I hear people say, oh my God, this duvet is my favorite. It's super fluffy. It's this and that. And it's not a duvet. It's not an advertisement for a duvet. It's only a comforter. And I'm going, what are they talking about? This is not a duvet. Okay. Just think of a duvet as a sleeve of a shirt. It's a sleeve. Okay. It's impossible for a duvet to be fluffy because they're flat. And here's another way to think of it. A duvet is like a pillowcase. Hey, that's even better, okay? A duvet is a pillowcase for your comforter to keep it protected. Keep it cleaner longer, right? So you think of it as a large pillowcase. But a comforter is not a duvet. And I just kept reading the descriptions of what people were saying, and I'm going, but that's not a duvet, that's a comforter. What in the hell is she talking about? People get supremely confused. Think of it as a pillowcase for your comforter. It cannot be floofy and fluffy on its own. It's just a flat piece of material, and your comforter goes inside of it. It'll have a zipper. A lot of times the duvet or the pillowcase will have ties on all the corners, and your comforter may have loops on its corners so that you can tie the duvet / pillowcase to your comforter and then turn it inside out. There's descriptions of how to do that on YouTube. But so yeah, I would specifically look for one with ties so that you can tie the duvet slash pillowcase to the comforter. But it was just so confusing. I'm like, why are they calling it a duvet? That is not a duvet. And so I got the impression, because people were uh interchanging duvet and comforter so easily, and it's confusing as hell. So I'm thinking, because I'm silly, I'm listening to what they're saying, and I'm thinking, oh, well, it's got a duvet that comes with it when you purchase it. No, it does not. No, it does not. It does not. You have to buy that separate. So I wasn't really thrilled about the confusion on my end. I wasn't thrilled about the confusion on everybody else's end. Oh my, this duvet is super fluffy. No, it isn't. It's not a duvet, damn it. It's a comforter. Stop it. You know, just like a pillowcase goes over a pillow, a duvet goes over or inside, the comforter goes inside the duvet, or sleeve slash pillowcase for the comforter goes outside. And a lot of times on the bottom, it'll have, and the reason you tie them together is to, if that item offers that, right? The reason you tie them together is so that your comforter is not sliding all over the place. It's tied, and it's not, no matter how much you move and flip it around, it stays exactly the way you tied it. It'll stay that way. But at the bottom, it'll either have buttons to prevent issues, or it'll have a zipper. I've personally never used one with a zipper, so I don't know. But that's usually your two options, a zipper or buttons. So anyway, think of a duvet as a completely separate thing from a comforter. It is a, quotation marks, pillowcase for your comforter to keep it cleaner longer. It is not the comforter. Those are two different things. That's apples and oranges. Okay? Anyway, it's super hot. For this time of year, it's pretty warm still. I don't know what's going on, but that's the way life is right now. Not really thrilled about it, but what can you do? Not much. Y'all take care. Much love. Bye-bye.